Hi everyone, and welcome to Scratch Junior Challenge number 6. Today, I want to focus on some science. I want to think a little bit about gravity. Think about what gravity does and how gravity impacts people. So, when we think about gravity, it works a little bit differently in different situations. Whether we are, for example, if you look at my screen so far, whether we're underwater, say we're swimming, whether we're on land, for example, in a park, or if we were on the moon. So my task today is using coding, and you can see I've added a sprite in. It's a child, a character. In each of these three areas, how can I code this to show that I understand that gravity works a little bit differently in each of these three places? So first of all, we're going to look at underwater. So to start my code, I always want a command piece to start. So I'm going to bring down my click with a green flag. So I want you to think about when you are swimming. If you're in the water, you're at the beach, you're in a pool, when you jump up in the water and then you start to come down, if the water's deep enough, what happens? Do you sink fast or do you sink slowly? Well, if you've talked to other people around you, you know that you do sink a little bit slow. So what I want to do is I want my sprite to jump up, and because she's in the water, I want her to drop back down a little bit slower than she went up, because the water helps hold you up a little bit. So to do that, we have to think about using different speeds. So I am going to start with the green flag. I do want my sprite to move up as though she's jumping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down this block, the up block, so it's like she's moving up, and I'm going to have her go up, say, 6. So I just click on it, we'll see she'll go up 6. Okay, so you see her jumping up, but if she's jumping, that was a little bit slower than I wanted her to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the speed. The way I change the speed is I come over to the yellow, I guess they're orange, pardon me, the orange blocks. You can see this block right here with a person. I'm going to bring down that block and see it has 3 different speeds. It has, sorry, I'm going to move it up a little bit so you can see a little bit better. It has the slowest speed, medium speed, and fast speed. So I'm actually, in this case, going to choose, I'm going to choose the fast speed. And the speed comes first, because in my code, when I press the green flag, it's telling my sprite to move fast and go up 6. So let's run that code, see how it looks. Perfect. So it's her jumping up in the water. But when she comes down in the water, I need her to go slowly. So I'm going to bring down another speed. And this time I'm going to change it to the slowest setting. You can see there's no lines behind the person. It looks like they're almost standing still. But I want her to come back down 6 as well. So now I come down and make it 6. So my code should say fast. I want you to jump up fast, 6. And then I want you to come down slowly, 6. Let's see if this kind of looks like what it would be if you were jumping in the water. So I run my code. She jumps up. And it's like she's floating down in the water. That's exactly what I want. Perfect. However, I want this to happen twice so people that are watching can see it. So once again, I'm going to go to my orange blocks, and here I have my repeat block. So I'm going to bring down my repeat, stick it right at the start. Everything I want repeated goes inside the repeat block. Right now it's going to repeat 4 times. That's too many. I don't want 4. I just want it to happen twice. So now it's going to repeat. It's going to happen twice. So I'm going to run my code just to take a look at it. She jumps once. She floats down in the water, jumps again, floats down. I think you get the idea there. That kind of, you can see visually how that makes sense when you're in the water, right? The water helps, it's buoyant, it keeps you up, and makes you fall down not as quickly. So that's fantastic. That's what I've now shown in my first stage, but I want it to go automatically to my second stage. So to do that, I'm going to click on the red blocks, and remember now here is stage number 2. You can see it right there. It'll take us directly to stage 2. When I go to stage 2, she's now in the park. So just like if you're at the school, out on the playground or anything. So to start, I want to start with the green flag because that's how I created my code in the beginning. That's how I'm running it right from the very first stage. And I want her to jump. And I think I want it to be the same as the other one. I want it to jump by 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the jump, this code here. The reason I didn't use this in the water is because I can't change the speed at which she goes up and down. It's just one set speed. So I can change it to 6 so she jumps the same height. Here we go. Oops, I hit it twice. Let's try that again. Press once. And she jumps just like you would if you're out on the playground and you're jumping. Beautiful. But I want it to be the same as the first one, so I needed to repeat. So I'm going to go back to my repeat blocks, bring it down, but I only want it to repeat twice. Let's run it. 1, 2. And that's regular gravity. You jump up, gravity pulls you down. Then I want it to switch to my third stage, which happens to be space. So what do you know about space? What is gravity like on the moon? Does it have gravity? Well, it does have gravity, but the gravity is not nearly as strong. So if you've ever watched any probably cartoons or movies or any real footage of people on the moon, you know that when they move, they don't generally come back down in space. They tend to float. If you push in one direction, you float a little bit that way. So I need her to react differently now. Thinking about my science, thinking about my coding, I want her to jump just like everybody else. When people jump in space, do they typically go really fast and then drop? No, they don't. So I'm going to have her jump 6, right? Same as everyone else. So that's great. However, chances are if she jumps, she's not going to move super fast, right? She's going to jump and she's just going to keep floating up a little bit. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to slow it down because I think that's the best way to go. Maybe I'll watch it once first. That's okay. That's not bad, actually. I like that. I want to see what it looks like if I slow it down because I can always change it again. Make it super slow. Reset. Let's try it again. That's even slower. I kind of like that. Maybe what I will have her do is jump 6 normally. And then instead of coming back down, gravity's not going to pull her down. She's going to keep going. So I'm going to have her go slower after that, but have her keep going up. Another 6. So here's what my code has done. She's jumping 6 at the normal speed. She then is going to go slow 6 more spaces. So let's see how that looks. Jumping up. It just keeps on going. Yep. Perfect. Now, she went a little too far. She came back through the bottom. So I'm going to make that 6 a 4. I don't want her to do that. Okay, I think my code is good. I think it's going to work, but I don't know. Let's run it. Let's see what happens. Go back to my first stage. Right, so I clicked up here on my first stage. I'm going to hit this just to make sure everything is returned to normal. Nothing is running. And now I'm going to click on the green flag up here at the top and run my code. Oops, I hit it twice. Let's try it once. Jump up. And she hops twice. And then here, she's not doing it twice because gravity is not going to pull her down, right? So that's why we didn't add that in there, just in case you were wondering. Beautiful. This actually helps to explain the idea of gravity. Here I'm using Scratch Junior to explain a science concept. So my challenge for you is, instead of just having your sprite jump, what other things could you have your sprite do that would show that you understand the difference between gravity, the gravity's effect on the body, whether you're on land, in the water, or say on the moon. This could be really fun. I hope you get really creative, and hope you enjoyed this Scratch Junior challenge, pardon me, number 6. Bye for now.